Yo, what is up, everyone? My name is Dom, and we talk about unusual options activity. Alright, so let's start off with a disclaimer. Alright, so this video is for educational purposes only. The statements made in this program are solely the opinion of the show and are not a specific inducement to make an investment. One must perform their own due diligence and realize that all investments carry risk. There's no guarantee of profit. Alright, everyone, so I want to start out with, I brought this one up on the show before, LiDAR. This is Luminar Technologies. They produce LiDAR for autonomous machinery and vehicles. Now, if you can see here, if you just type in the name up here, LiDAR, and just pop down this time and sales here, wait for it to load for a second, you can see that right out of the gate, you can see here somebody got 1,350 of these, February 50 calls at $200 each. And then if you go to these February 40 calls, there's some interesting action. You can see that there's a nice block trade here, but if you take it a step further and go to these February 19s, search it up in here and do the 40 calls and go to 1202, sort it by time, scroll down to 12, even at 1205 there's some buying. At 1202 there's a lot of buying. There's that 527 order. And it looks like it's paired up with some of these here as well. So a lot of buying in this one. This is semi-short term, so you know, could be something coming out about the company that would boost the share price. I have literally no idea, but one thing I know is I like this company. I like the sector they're in, and we're in these calls, so I think it's going higher. Let's check out the chart here. So once again, this used to be a SPAC, so this is why you see it used to, you know, only be at $10. The SPAC came public at $10, and you know, this is probably where they made a news announcement that they were going to be merging with Luminar Technologies. Now the stock is LiDAR and it's Luminar Technologies. So as you can see here, this thing ran all the way up to 47, and it looks like it's kind of creating a wedge shape here. This is just a technical pattern, so if you follow my cursor right here, if you connect these lines, you can kind of see it makes a wedge coming down here. And then if you connect these lines here, it's kind of, this line is moving up. So it's creating a wedge shape is what we call the technical pattern. And it can either break higher or break lower. So these two lines that are my hands right here are pretty much like support and resistance. So at some point this wedge comes to a point, and that's just a technical pattern, and usually it either breaks higher or breaks lower, and it usually makes a significant move. So that's just a technical pattern for you guys to keep an eye on. You know, obviously none of these shapes are perfect, but if you just kind of connect these lines here of, you know, the share price, like the bottom markings of this chart, you can just draw it up there. There's one line, and you could even extend it up here, but then that's kind of more of a exponential shape. But if you just take, you know, you can just draw a line like this, and it's coming to that wedge, it's coming to that point, and you know, I think it's gonna take higher through that wedge, and obviously these people who are buying think so as well. So we will see what happens. All right, next one is PDD. I brought this one up on the show as well. This is Pinduoduo. This is a Chinese stock, so kind of a little risky just because it's Chinese stocks. You know, with all these executive orders coming out, taking Chinese stocks off of the New York Stock Exchange. I don't think this one is in the crosshairs of the American regulators to take it off the exchange. So that's another reason why I went with this one. So if you clear all the filters right here, you can see there's some buying at these February 210 calls. So it looks like two people came in here. One of these at 1309 and 27 seconds. They got 1,300 of these things at $350 each. Someone else came in and got 1,040 of these things at $365 each. And then yeah, you can kind of just scroll through this. There's some more buying at these Feb 200 calls. Looks like, yeah, so you guys can just go through this here and see who's buying what. Yeah, a lot of buying in this one, and let's check out the chart. God, can't even speak tonight. So this one has had a huge run. It's kind of like what I was saying yesterday. You know, the pandemic has just taken this digitization that was going to happen over multiple years and just condensed it and forcing it to happen because, you know, now everything has to be virtual because of COVID and everything. And this is a e-commerce platform. So internet platform. That's why this stock has just exploded to the upside, and it's kind of well off of its highs. It's made a high here of about 187 back in the beginning of January in the new year, and it's traded down to about 165, 167. So, you know, this one's kind of pulled back, and I like people who are buying on a pullback. So we're on these calls, and we will see what happens, everyone. All right, thanks to everyone who's been subscribing. Thanks to everybody who's been watching the videos daily. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are learning a lot. And always remember that I'm here to tell you guys what I do, what I learned from it, and why it works for me. I'm not here to tell you guys what to do. You guys always have to do your own due diligence and, you know, pick the trades that work for you and that work for your risk tolerance. Remember, these shorter term trades are definitely deeper into the pool. They're a lot riskier than, you know, buying long-term options. But still, that doesn't mean you can't lose your ass in a long-term option. If a stock plummets and you have a long-term option, you're going to lose your ass. So just be aware of that, and make sure you're always doing your own due diligence, and we'll see you guys in the next one.